folks. Welcome aboard. Welcome back if you've been here. Welcome aboard if you haven't. I'm Don. This is Rockin' the Country, where I react to non-pop country music. Bluegrass, Western, folk, Cajun, red dirt, it's all in the non-pop country family. Traditional, absolutely. I do mostly traditional country music reactions, but there are neo-contemporary, call them neo-traditional contemporary artists like Mo Pitney and Zach Top and Tia Goins even, and like Jason Eady and his wife Courtney Patton and folks like that that are newer artists. They're not new necessarily, but they're much newer, younger, and keeping the traditional thing going. Independent artists, absolutely. Out of Kentucky, out of Oklahoma, Texas, Minnesota, you name it. And that's what we do here. And in that vein, I guess, I don't know the song, but Eliyahs Romans, who knows his stuff when it comes to country, made a gift request for me to do this. Norma Jean, Let's Go All the Way. I don't know what this is, but of course, what pops into most people's head is what just popped into mine. But Eliyahs, thank you for this gift and this request. We're going to find out what this is. And Eliyahs said that he hadn't seen any Norma Jean on my channel, and he's going to rectify that. And you are correct. I had not done any Norma Jean. So, of course, whenever I hear Norma Jean, I think of Marilyn Monroe and Elton John's song. He says, "Goodbye, Norma Jean." So, but this is Norma Jean, Let's Go All the Way. Here we go. That's country.
Oh, let's go all the way. When you love halfway, someone's got to pay. I won't accept a part of you, so let's go all the way.
That's me, little Tammy.
Love me day and night, then I'll know it's right. Love me till I hear you say, oh, let's go all the way. All the way means happiness, living side by side.
Right, now
halfway means a heartbreak if one of us should lie. Just give me a clue that you love me too. Hold me in your arms and say, oh, let's go all the way. The first time I met you, I knew that I'd be true. Won't you name our wedding day, and let's go all the way.
There it is.
Let's you and I pretend our love will never end. Tell me you'll be mine today.
Whoa. Let's you and I pretend our love will never end. What is that referring to? Why the word pretend? Is that just a reference to the fact that, like, we all die? I mean, so mortality will make our love end at some point naturally, or is she going to be more accepting of the halfway house here she's talking about? Halfway of love. She doesn't want that though.
Oh, let's go all the way.
She wants that.
All the way means happiness, living side by side. Halfway means a heartbreak if one of us should lie.
What does that mean?
Just give me a clue that you love me too. Hold me in your arms and say, oh, let's go all the way.
Right, but I'm confused about the one line in there about the lie. Like, happiness means, we're in love together forever. We're fully committed in every which way. But halfway means like unhappiness if one of us should lie. But a lie would make somebody unhappy no matter what. That is an interesting reference. I wonder if that is more specific to the time. Because some expressions are way more common in different eras, different decades, different years, depending on what's what. Disco had its own vernacular that some of the lyrics or a song title would have worked its way into the common vernacular that people who lived in that era, such as myself, would understand. I wonder if this was one of them where it's just understood what it meant. If I were to say somewhere, I may be crazy, but it's kept me from going insane, or it keeps me from going insane. Country fans would know exactly what I'm talking about. That's the title of Waylon's song. To me, it's the greatest line ever in any song anywhere. And there are great lines that I have. I actually started a file where I've got 5 or 6 really impactful lines that just hit deep in the soul. They capture life, they capture everything. That's the best one ever. You'd know what that is. Not that this is that famous, it's not, but what is that reference to lying? I don't know. It may just be, look, if one of us lies, we'll never survive a halfway uh, committed relationship. But what would the lying be a reference to? Yeah, I'm not sure, but I get it. But I mean, I think that this is a veiled way, really, of talking about sex without talking about sex, like making it refer to we'll be happy together, fully committed to each other. But in that time frame, generally speaking, it was understood that that was you had sex within the context of marriage, even though that's a lie, though. Anybody who thinks that nobody had premarital sex back then is just wrong. Absolutely, people had premarital sex as often as today, I'm guessing. Maybe not, but it just wasn't accepted. It was spoken down about, so culturally, you wanted to prevent that. You didn't want out of marriage births, out of wedlock births, and stuff like that. And those values, which many assign to being a Judeo-Christian value. And there's an absolute benefit to it. I understand it. I don't criticize somebody who has premarital sex. It's natural. By the time, girls are 13 or so getting their periods, biologically, they're wired to have babies. And guys, it's a little bit later for us, but we're wired to, want to procreate too. It's just a very physical, natural thing. First world countries, you got to finish high school, you go to college and all this stuff before you want the responsibility of having kids. And it's a little more difficult if you have kids in your 30s, for example, because then you're on the soccer field when you're 50 or whatever. And, you just have less energy in ways generally if you got 3 kids running around and you're 55 years old. On the other hand, you understand how life works and you can give better advice to the kids. So in one sense, it might be 6 of one, a half dozen of the other, versus having a baby at age 18 where you have a ton of energy, but you're not very bright. As far as the world goes, you're not equipped. There might be a ticket to poverty or hard times for a long time, all these things. So there are benefits to it. But she may be talking about that very thing. Like, I really want to have sex with you, but we got to be married. But I don't know what the lie meant. Elias, yeah, I'm stumped. I don't know. I do think it was a veiled way. I do think it's a very creative way of talking about sex without saying it, because it wouldn't have gotten play on the radio. I don't know how much airtime this got, or would have, how much it got. It says here, this is the best of Norma Jean, 64 to 73. So if you're putting out a best of album, generally speaking, you're fairly well known. So, all right, I'm going to rate this song, and I liked her voice. It was country instrumentation, but back then country also frequently had a more orchestral orchestrated feel to it with more than tinges of country, what we consider country elements like pedal and pedal steel and a pronounced violin slash fiddle and such. But this song comes in at an 8.9. I love being made to think. I love being made to wonder. And I know you guys are going to clear up some of this in the comments. And that part of it also plays into, I think, subconsciously, whatever rating pops into my head, whatever number. So that's a Jeff Cather special. I'll be in Zimbabwe, folks. All right. Thank you again, Eliyahs. Have a great day. I'll see you on another video and keep rocking the country.